So I want to make sure that everybody has access to all the materials they need, so that it will also help us to, um, do the quiz and at a timely manner. So I believe that majority of people who are here already have access to it. I don't check it, so the access will be for all the folders. So the access will be granted to you on the folder itself. So whatever I'm putting in there, you don't need any further access. All you need to just have access to everything as I'm pushing them. I hope the program manager is here too. So provide access to them on the folder level, not on the file. If you provide the access on the folder level, they can have access to everything. So even though I post a new thing today, they will have access to it. So except, we're already giving that instruction from the way. So let's have that. Okay, so that being said, so maybe I should just start off. We don't really want to have this. So before we start, if you have any question, please can you just raise up your hand and just because we are starting off with a quiz anyway. So the way we do our quiz is just going to be within 5 minutes. Test a little bit of our knowledge, and then ascertain the fact that the assignment that we have given the previous day, we've been able to do it. So any quick question, any question, one or two questions before we start? Okay, Ndidi.
Okay. Hello everyone. So yesterday, I know I did chat with you with respect to being able to sign up on the M365. I've not been able to, and I don't know if I'm just the only person having this issue, and if there are other people in the room who have been able to or have not been able to sign up on their M365, but I've not been able to do that.
Okay, I think I understand your situation. Okay, let's put it this way. Decision is you have debit card, and you were
Mhm.
trying to, and that same debit card you have used it for one of your Microsoft accounts.
Yes,
Now,
I even tried my husband's card. It didn't
and then
work.
it did not work. Hmm. Do you try creating a different email ID entirely? Do you try creating a different email ID than the one you've been used to? Like maybe I'm used so at yahoo.com. Do you ever try using that? The reason why I'm saying this because at least I work with Microsoft a little for some time, and I work as an ambassador concierge.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes their system often track the billings.
Mm-hmm.
You know, let's say someone's account. Maybe I use my particular card to for a particular account,
Mm-hmm.
and later on, maybe you are trying to use another ID for the same card. It's very possible that system will flag it and
Mm-hmm.
flag it as if somebody is trying to use your card. Do you understand? That
Yeah.
somebody is trying to use your card and it's a different identity. It's a very possibility. Now, the other way out is that if you have not used any card for anything before, then they're likely going to, I would just recommend this, the card you have not used before and the
Mm-hmm.
email you have not used before.
Mm.
You can try those.
Okay, call a new
Yes.
email. Okay.
Yes, create a new email account and then use that with any of the card that you have not used before.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I think that should be able to work because, Microsoft is spending a lot of billions of dollars to ensure that, security wise, and people don't, go and steal somebody's card and try to use it to buy this thing. So if they check with your database and see that, oh, this person, who is calling me? Or say this person, it's has an account, or somebody's trying to. So you check with the database and see, though this person is not trying to. So I feel that that might likely going to be an issue. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a lot of, issues working with the product group with Microsoft as well. where they
Mm.
have to escalate, and I see some of those things. What we do is just what we do, what we call the rehydrate. And I wouldn't say you should call Microsoft because you don't have
Mhm.
an existing account with them. Do you
Yeah.
understand? So
Yeah.
it happens with people who have an existing account with them. I will have said, okay, just call Microsoft, they will be able to resolve it. But in this case, you might need to try a new account. I don't know if any other person has that same issue.
Okay.
Anybody has that same issue? Okay. Um, hmm. Oh, I've not dropped the message I was about to drop. All right, so I have dropped that. Okay, so let's just today's a bit interesting. All we need to do is just to I'm going to be dropping a quiz, just 5 minutes. If you have not done, we just answer, answered it, somehow. We just want to pass across this because we want to be sure that everybody's participating anyway. Um, for those who have complained that, oh, I've not been able to do this because of this, in that case, I will waive because I'm going to see all everybody's what they are doing. It just for us to have a compliance that people are actually following. We don't want to just, I don't want to spend my time basically and trying to say, oh, I'm putting some people through and they are not doing their part. So 1 minute, I'm going to send the so within in the next 5 minutes, the quiz. You are going to do your quiz on your phone. I'm sending this on the this thing, and then it's going to take 5 minutes. So I've sent it now. So the time start now. So I'm going to be muted, and so to resume by 4. Let's say 4:34. Just a basic things. think we are good to go. I know some people are sending, so I'm going to permit those who have not done that to do so. Um, at least for the next. So it means that you should just do that and feel that it's just a very simple test. We're probably supposed to be just for 2 minutes, because I've just said 5 minutes, but basically just for everybody to be sure that you key your record. So I'm going to leave that. So while we start the new class, so I'm going to share my screen. For those I've designated to always bring people in, please do, because I'm going to put my this in on a big mode, so that if anybody's trying to come in, please do accept them in. All right. Okay, so let's go to going to share my screen now. Hey. So the question asked is just basically, of course, your name, so that I'll be able to know you are the one sending it. And then we ask that you provide us with this ID to be sure that you actually done it. And then, of course, your admin account. And then we are not going to do it because we don't have the password. We are not going to use it because we don't have the password to it anyway. And then, of course, how many users account we've created, because part of the other thing, of course, it's the simplest questions you will ever see anyway, because it's the starting point. So please want everybody to do it, and then we'll go from there. We'll go from what you know to what um, you need to learn. All right, so let's quickly get to the today's class. I believe everybody is seeing me. All right, so today we'll be looking at different items today, starting with the directories. Yesterday we talked about the tenants, briefly on the tenants, and we talked about the cloud. We talked about private cloud, public cloud, how you can get resources on the internet through DNS resolution or IP, private IP. I examined different cloud environment, public cloud environment, and then we're saying that, okay, within the Azure ecosystem, we have M365. And that M365, today we're going to be looking deeper in terms of all this. So we're going to be looking at the directories. When you talk about directories, what do we mean by directories? Now, inside our directories, we have identities. Inside the identity, within the identity space, we have identity can exist in different places. And that's why we're looking at integrations, hybrid integration, whether the identity is happening on the on-prem or it's happening on the cloud. Like we talked about private cloud and public cloud. Then we talk about Microsoft tenant, the one we have created before. And then we go to the identity models that we will see on the Office 365. And then we're also going to talk about the user type, manage user identities, and then tenant license. This is how we're going to start working class. So basically, when we talk about the identity management system, on premises, usually anytime they talk about on premises, they're talking about your own private environment, which you can say, the Active Directory is it's a database that works on the Active Directory domain controller, DC. We don't need to go into that. It's only for the advanced. I'm just going to give a brief explanation. Now, think of something that hold the schema. Think of something that hold key to everything you have in your house. Let's say in your house, you have ID number for every items in your house. And then in that your house, you have a place where you store the identity, they're like a directory numbers. Like, okay, if I'm looking for a spoon, go to this place. If I'm looking for this, go to this place. If I'm looking for this, go to this. That's exactly what it means. Now, the directory is holding the schema. Think of a building. When you get into a building, or before you get into upstairs, or before you get to maybe a very big, they will tell you if you are going to this office, go to building what's it called? So floor, building so floor. That's exactly what Active Directory do. And then Active Directory is like a database that holds the schema, the security schema for all the identities within the system. Now, that will say that is what we talk about. So to have Active Directory, you have a lot of configurations. You have to have a server, and that server is called maybe Windows Server. And under the Windows Server, you have to install the directory on it. When you install directory on it, that becomes a domain controller, which means it controls all the schemas, all the directories. That's on one part. Now, the similar structure is now being done in the cloud. All for a long time, the people have been having their own on-premises. That's what I call on-premises, meaning their own environment. Now, Microsoft, as part of the Microsoft 365 offering, decided to have something similar to Active Directory, which is now Entra ID, formerly called Azure AD, which is now in the cloud, now not on premise now. Now, in some cases, some organizations felt, oh, they are not really safe. What if something happened to them and then all the information go away? So Microsoft said, okay, no problem. We are going to provide this kind of, you can have your identity on premises and sync it to the cloud, and the identity can exist on both ends. We are going to talk about that later on. Now, basically what I'm trying to say, I'm giving you the basics so that when you get to environment or you get employed as maybe as an entry level, and then you won't say, oh, I didn't know anything about Active Directory. Oh, I didn't know anything about Entra ID, which is formerly Azure AD. I just want to put it out there that you have all the basic knowledge, you have understanding of what they are talking about, and then we'll go from there. Now, in these identities generally, when we look at this directory, they hold a major schema of all these all these identities. We talk about identities generally. We talk about users, groups, what type of groups, device, what type of device application, what type of device applications. Now, every of these device could be a computer, could be a printer. Groups can be a distribution group, can be a security group. We're going to talk about that later on. User can be different types of users. Maybe it's a service account. Maybe it's a woman account that needs password. Maybe an account that doesn't need a password. All that are identity anyway. And these are tied, whether you have an on-premise environment or you have a cloud environment directory. Now, let's take a look at this. In a case of an hybrid integration, let's say, which is always be in most enterprise I've worked with, usually small companies who don't have enough money to have a lot of, infrastructures, always have cloud environments. And then while, you know, you know, from middle company and to, very enterprise company, they always have an hybrid environment. Again, I don't want you to just say, oh, let me just teach you on this on the cloud alone. Yes, for some to a level as an entry level, maybe all you need to do is just to have the knowledge of the cloud environment. And but for those who are going to be going to advanced and be going to the expert level, they will need to be able to understand it, because that's where those enterprise companies would like to employ you, and then you have to pay you what you want because you have to understand the whole architecture. Now, why am I bringing up this now? So what makes it possible for this? So it's like you have user identity on premises, you have a user identity on the cloud, and then or let me put it this way, I don't want to use that word. You have a user identity on the premises, and they feel like, oh, I want the same identity to be used because that identity need to have access to the resources in the cloud. So the way to go about this is to set up an hybrid configuration. An hybrid configuration in such a way that the user that you have put on your AD on premises can also act as the same user on cloud. So meaning that it becomes an hybrid. It becomes an hybrid. And then you could see, we don't go into all this terminology. All I just want to show you is that this is a different diagram. This is a different diagram put side by side. The first diagram is talking about the fact that you have a local on premises. The second is inside that same first diagram is talking about that, there in between that, there is an authentication that has changed between the Windows servers directory and the Azure Active Directory, which is now the one in the cloud. So that directory, while inside that cloud are several access to different services that we are going to be talking about. Now, the same thing also in the second diagram where you have, on-premises Active Directory, user, device, and then you sign on. You try to sign on. When you try to sign on, because it's a sync environment, it will first of all go back to the on-premise to check whether this user's account is there, and then from there go back again. That's why you have this double arrow there. Basically, it's trying to say that when I'm trying to initiate this one will initiate a realm that, when I try to log in to maybe a particular, Mr. Green project at mrgreen.com, for instance, it will check my account, whether my account is a sync environment or is a cloud-only environment. If you discover that my account is a sync environment, it will take me back to my on-premise to check to be sure that, yes, if this account really exists. So if I terminated this user on my on-premise environment, this will not allow me to access to the environment on the cloud, because this one already confirmed to this one that say, no, this account does not exist. But assuming it's just only one account, which one, the one you are using now, the one you created, the tenant you created now, it shows that, yes, does this account exist on this and this of 365? You say yes, then you allow me to have access to all this. So that is what's happening anytime you try to sign in or you are trying to log in. So I'm just explaining this authentication part of the process. Now, we talked about the tenant. And in the tenant, we have what we call, I told you that we have, I think this was supposed to SaaS, which is service as software as services. I'm going to change it. Now, we have, I'm not sure whether I should, so hopefully I'll change it immediately I finish this presentation. So we have types of tenants, and then we have what called a work B2B tenant, which is single multi tenant. We have a single, it could be a single. What you have presently is a work tenant. That's why it asks you to put your company information and all that. Now, inside that same company information, you can also have a customer service tenant. And the customer service tenant is, let's say, an organization. Let's say, for instance, we have a big company like Otera or Intel, where they provide services for general public, and they still have people working for them. So in that case, they want to keep two tenants. They want to keep some application that works for their own workforce. Their own workforce use their Word documents, they use their SharePoint, they use all those things, and then they use maybe service now and all that, all these applications within their tenant. They'll keep everything within there. Now, let's say they have a major interface application, let's say for Chorus or something, that they want to, people externally can sign in with their Yahoo, their Google, with their this. In that case, nobody will give them access to this work environment. They will say, you know what? We are going to establish a work called B2C, which is business to customer. Why this one could be B2B? And in most cases, this B2B can also be that maybe there are federated companies. Maybe Otera is federating with Intel. Maybe there's they're merging. So that is still B2B, which is business to business. It's going to be on work basis. But when it comes to customer identity access management system, that's what called CIAM. And it's going to be B2C, which is an external ID tenant. So it can also be single, it can also be multiple tenants. Just to have the idea of what we're talking about. The model of 365 identity models. Primarily we have two. From what, definitely we have about three in actual fact, but not all 365 identity model. The first model will be the one on premises, right? But when it comes to Office 365, you expect at least two types. Number one, the cloud only. And then Microsoft permits that an account can be synced from on premises to Office 365. That makes it hybrid. So what that means is that if it's a cloud only account, I ask you guys to create an account. It's going to be majorly a cloud created, the account that is created, which has an identity. That account can be a computer account, whichever account it is, but the identity is going to be in the cloud. The same way too, if it's an hybrid account, whether it's a computer account, user accounts, or whatever account that is created on the premise that is already synced from on-premises Active Directory. Now, what do you mean by this? It's created, managed, and stored exclusively in the Microsoft Entra ID format. This is the simplest model suited for organization without on-premise environment. Just you can easily read through. Hybrid environment too, identity, of course, we explained already that is done through what we call Entra ID Connect. Allowed to have a single set of credit for both this and this. So it exists on both ends. Then you also believe that when it comes to the hybrid model, yes, we already said that, yes, this account can be synced. Now, then we also have different types of hybrid model. Now, we have the sync one. Then we have the one that is not sync. Is not sync. It's majorly for the advanced level people. We have synchronized identity. This one you already explained. This one already. So either you have what we call this form of authentication, password hash, synchronized. We are not going to go all through all that one. Or pass-through authentication is used, and does all the authentication. Now, sometimes organization can use a different identity, whether it is they can have what we call something called ADFX. It's a main architecture on premises that does all the authentication by itself instead of relying on Office 365 to do authentication. Authentication is basically you try to sign in and then allow you to sign in. When you try to sign in, you provide your username and then you provide your password. Immediately you provide your password, in some cases you prompt you MFA and you put the ID code there. What happens? It allows you. That's authentication. Now, then there are also what we call authorization. Authorization is the kind of level of asset that you have access to. We're going to be getting to roles very soon, where you'll be providing access to users. In terms of privileges to users. That's what authorization will do. Right now, I ask you to create an account. And I say the first account you created is your own admin account. So by default, that account you created already have its all privileges in it. But if I ask you to create all these other users, they don't come with all those privileges. Don't tie them until we begin to assign them different roles and privileges. Yes, those accounts, when you create them with their password, you can sign in. But are they going to see the same thing the first account is saying? No. So when you get into an organization first time, they will say, oh, they're going to create an account for you to sign in. And then they say, oh, they are waiting for you to provide you the right privilege. That one will help them to say, okay, this person is working on accounting. What are the applications he or she needs to have access to? This person working in healthcare, what are the opportunities he needs to have? They will provide you with exact privileges that you need to have. That's on authorization. Just want to clear that because I kept mentioning authentication so that you not be confused about that. Now, sorry, pardon me, my graphics. I just picked that, paste. And you have time to design one. We have so the data structure, the cloud environment, you can see it there. The sync environment, you can see there is what called a DSync in between the two, which I connect, and then of course the federated account, which can be a federation and a sync. It can be both. I was trying to explain this one. We have some situation whereby an organization can decide to partner with a third party directory services, maybe for single sign-on, like Okta. I've managed Okta before too, like Okta and all that. They don't want to bring everything into one box. So that when a user comes in, you just see everything, you just click on the application you are looking for. Many people don't, some of them may not be arranged very well. But when you get to organization, you just log in, then you just open Okta, I'm looking for a particular application, you just click on it, and then it just take you. It doesn't ask you to resign in again. So it helps you bring all application into one box. Well, so depends on the functionalities and what they're trying to, but it's just a follow-up with what we have already described. Now, when we talk about user type, we are going to be doing that practically now, a few minutes. Type in Microsoft ID, um, you have user type, we have a members. I already explained to you that we have a work environment. And then inside those work environments, part of what you're going to be doing is also to create a guest users. We also have another type called guest users. Guest users are the as users that you can actually use to create, you want to invite somebody outside the organization. Maybe somebody is working for you and you don't want to give the person a member account. Now, you can then, okay, I want this person to have access to certain resources. Let's say I've had a case whereby an auditor of a company, I mean, the company said, oh, we have an auditor. They are auditor, they are not member of the company. We need them to have access to a particular folder, maybe audit accounts and all that. But the internal people will be putting all this information here. And then while it's just the same way we are saying that, oh, I have an account on Google, I'm providing everybody to have access to that same folder and everybody. So I'm inviting every one of you to have access to it. The same way too, you have an external person, a guest account. You can use your own Gmail or personal, a different account, that is different from the one you used to register this Office 365 account. Or maybe somebody, your husband or your spouse, something that, okay, you know what, let me provide, you will see the experience, how you can invite somebody externally to come into your organization. You can do that too as part of your, of your test. You bring that, you create the account and invite the person, and the person will come in. Then, of course, we have anonymous users, which we may not be able to treat this for this this thing is a little bit complex for the collaboration, standard analysis, where you can create a service account. That may not even need to even use, in some cases, you may not even need the password. Somebody will just use an API to log into your system. That's a complex part. And then, of course, we also have an external identity for that's a B2C, the one I talked about, or external ID accounts from where you have you can have even that particular identity or users can also even have somebody um, from Facebook, from this thing. They can use their ID from Facebook. I'm sure you must have seen some certain environment where they said, oh, you can sign with your Facebook account, sign with your Twitter account, whatever account that you have, you can sign with. Those are the things that we talk about when you talk about external identity, because you are bringing them in. And usually you bring them in when you have what's called B2C environments, not work environment. Usually, almost 100% of what you're going to be working with will be a work environment. But I just need to expose you to that before we go into this. Now we're going to be managing users, devices, group, and then of course we all know what group is. Group is just a group that includes us several users. I will be looking at those and all that. And then of course we have created our tenants, and then we'll be reviewing our licenses as well. And so the class work begins. So these are the things we're going to be working in. We're going to be licensing. We're going to be, we're going to be licensed. We're going to be looking at the roles, create share mailbox, practice, create mail delegation, email sending. Of course, if possible, practice with calendar, create groups, create resource mailbox. All right. So, and the assignment will follow. Any question to start with before we go ahead? So I'm going to allow questions. I'm going to stop sharing. If you have questions, if you have questions, please ask now before we go to the next one. Questions? Okay, John, go
Yeah,
ahead.
thank you very much. I just want to advise because this is a new concept for some of us that if you can break those keywords down that you're using, so I think that is going to go a long way. It will not be as if that, yes, we are hearing it, but those keywords that you are mentioning, I think it is going to help us. Thank you.
All right. Okay. So the best way to break them down is to start seeing them, to start seeing them the way they are. So, I will say it and then we go into the practical work. So who is going to give us who is going to volunteer today? If you have created your accounts, your this thing that you want to show us, please indicate. I'm sure nobody wants me to use my own environment. I can use my environment, but if you want to, if you have your environment ready, we can then begin to use the environment so that at least people can. Okay, Olaoluwa. Okay, 1 minute. I'm going to. You want to say something, or you want to give us your.
I want to learn.
You want to learn? Okay. All right. So I'm giving you the course. So you can share your screen. I think we can go from there. Okay, you can go to your okay, our user way admin.microsoft.com.
Your Microsoft is wrong.
Microsoft,
Yes.
you say you use micro. It's supposed to be MIC.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to 1 minute. Just 1 minute. So for those who have not let me see if I can take control of your system.
But it doesn't really have the exact same way. And some words are in a better situation.
So, oh no, it's giving me options on the there's any option for me to, okay, I will just follow through. So let's go to just say showdown just below there.
Show down or show all.
Show all, sorry, show
Okay.
all. Scroll down and then go to identity. So we are going to be seeing those things that we've been talking about, so that then it will make more meaning and sense to us, if you go back to the notes. So under it, click on users.
I guess somebody was upset. And you're not too worried. Upset, like.
Yeah. Now, under that user, you see you have created a lot of users, just like we said, you should create users. Now, can you expand and try to move it towards the right? I want to see, yes, we want everybody to see what you have. Then try to scroll down up. Now, okay, take it one by one. Take it, yeah. Do you see where it said user type, members, user principal name, that user type, members? Where you say the other one, it said on premises, no. That means this account, if it is sync account, you will see it's a sync account. You will see it there. The reason why I'm trying to expose you guys to this is because most times when you are getting an entry level, first level job, it might require you just go and if there's somebody to reset password. You understand? You reset somebody's password and all that. So we just need to understand that part. So like I said, those entry level job, you can always get them, you have nothing to lose. Except you really want to move forward, go ahead beyond now. Now we have it. Can you go next? Scroll to the next one. Of course, it gives you other information like that. Now let's pick up on one user. Yeah, scroll back again. Let's pick up on one user. Click on one user. Now that user that you have here, you see that user, you see that it has an object ID. That unique ID tells you when it is created. It says it's a member. It tells you the identity. You see the identity is there. That's it. Then it tells you how many applications. Can you see? Keep going. Scroll down. It tells you how many membership group that user belongs to. How many applications that user has access to. It tells you assign roles. How many license this person doesn't have any license. We're going to be doing the licenses now. Scroll up again. Scroll up. Now, number of things you can do here. You see, there's edit. Don't click yet. There's a delete. You can delete a user now. You can refresh. You can reset. You can revoke. Now, that is about that. Now, on the left side, you will see audit logs. Can you go to overview, audit log? Click on audit log. You are on the overview already. Click on audit log. It will tell you when this person signed in successfully, it was created. Now, most times, this is where you check users to know whether there's a problem. Maybe there was the logs with that person. What time this person uses account and all that, you can be able to find out. Then sign in log. Can you go to the next one? Sign in logs. It will get you information. This person has not signed in. The account was just created. That's the audit log. If the person signed in, maybe you use that percentage to show that, yeah, it has been signed in at some point. You only created the account. Now, you take them one after the other and start going one after the other. So you could see, yeah, this person has not, no failed attempt. This person has not signed in. Next one. Attributes. You don't read in any other attributes. Assign roles. Now, because you are using this person has not been assigned any roles. but you can do an assignment. You can do a role assignment. Now, let's assume you want to do a role assignment. Can you click add assignment? Up on the top. Yes. So now, this is where the role assignment is. Now, you can decide to give this person different roles. Can you scroll down? Up under this role by the side, yes. Now, the question is, what do you want this person to be able to do within this organization? You need to understand that. There you see, there's going to be several information that will make that, okay, this person, what this person is going to be doing. Maybe it's going to be application developer, maybe it's going to be a simulation, and all different roles. Can you scroll down? We are going to assign one now. I want us to assign a billing administrator. Keep going. Directory reviews. You can assign the person directory review. Say, click on directory review by that checkbox. Just check the box. Yes, check the box.
That's directory reader. Is that the same thing?
Just check it. Yes, no, hide it. Just hide it. Just for you to see that you can actually add roles to this person. You have not licensed it. You are going to also license it anyway. But let's see how you see. So you can refresh. If you refresh, no, there's a refresh here. No, yes, yeah. So this person has been added. We don't have administrative units. That will be something we'll talk about on the advanced level. That's partitioning companies, users, to have different license. Now, can you go down, click on the administrative units? We don't have that yet. The next after admin role, assign roles, the next one is administrative units. No administrative units, we didn't create that one. Now, group, we talk about group. We are going to create groups too as well. The next one is application. No application yet. I'm going to show you number of application on my hand because this is not for this class, but I'm going to show you from my own end. License. Click on license. So no license found yet. Okay. Then click on device. No device found yet. Now click on Azure role assignment. Okay. No, can you come down? Then click on authentication method. Now, scroll down. I'm going to show you something here. Now, here, you can add authentication method to these users. Let's say in some cases, we want this particular user to be able to use MFA or use his phone or whatever it is. This is where you add authentication method for this particular users. Okay, I want this user to be able to use his phone. The next time he's trying to sign in, it will force that person to do MFA, and then you can reset the password of that person. You can also reset to re-register the authentication method. Let's say, for instance, somebody said, oh, they stole my phone. And they said they stole my phone, and then they would expect you to, this person stole your phone. What do you do? And the person can always use his phone as authentication. What do? You come over to this and do what call reset the authentication method, and then require authentication method require the register authentication method. You click on that, and then that person, anytime that person is trying to sign in again, it will prompt that person on a new phone. Prompt that person to download again the MFA, the Microsoft app, and then that person to require to sign in again using the same, so that way, whatever phone that's been stolen, whatever it is in, the identity will not be compromised. So basically, that's all you get on this part. Now, can you go back again to review? Go back, go up. Do you see what I'm saying? Are you there?
Sorry, Mr. Jai, can you say that again?
Yes, can you scroll up on the left side? Yes, on the left side. No, not the second left, the second blade side. So go back to the overview, click on overview. And then we have this. Now, you will see overview, you see monitoring, you see properties. Go up. You see overview, click on monitoring. Then this one doesn't have a license. Then click on the properties. Now, these are properties, and then you can edit this identity here. You can assign views and all that. So that's one. That's one. So we are going to, what we're going to do is that before we create to assign license, we want to go and see the group.
Image.
So now go back to your home or go back to where the group is. Click on group. There's a group here. Yes, click on group. Now we are not going to treat enterprise application because you don't have any applications. We are not going, but we can treat user and group at this level. So now click on new group. On new group. No, on the top. You see under all groups. Click on all groups first. Click on all groups first. Because it's a group supposed to come with by default. If a group does not come by, that means maybe the Microsoft has changed this plan, this thing. Okay, now click on new group. Click on new group. So now there are different. I told you that one of the identities that we have is we have groups, but in this case, it has different types of groups. The same way you have different types of users. I would ask us to do one also, that of users. We still need to go back there. Okay, let's go back to the user first and try to invite and try to create a user. Because before we go to the group, you see there's a plus arrow on top, and then which there's try to drop down that click, say drop it down, click on it. Now it's giving you two options. Now there's very possibility that maybe you use my admin to create the other one, but that's fine. Now it's giving you two options, giving you create new user. That is new user internal organization. You click the second option, invite external users for collaboration. Click on that. Then, so now this is where you are going to invite someone to come into your organization, and you are also going to give that person the roles and all that. That is your own organization. I will not tell you what to do, but what you need to do for me here is try to invite someone that you have email, or maybe the email that you don't, but I would advise it's not an email that you are using for this, you used to register for this. Maybe an email outside. Don't use your office email. Just use
Just any random email.
Before your security officer will call you and say so just use any random email that if you don't have it, that's fine. You take it as part of your assignment, and then you just do a review, follow through, put the message there, and the person that you're trying to invite will come in, and automatically when you go to all the users, you will see. So you don't need to do it now if you don't want to. No problem, just come back. I just want to make sure that everybody can have access to this and go. So let's go to group. Let's go to group now. Now on the group, so let's try and create the group, new group. Now there's an option here. We have security group, and then we have a click on that type of group. Type, no. There's an arrow there under that group. Yes, you will see we see options there. Now here is where you have two groups. We have three groups actually. No, two groups. We have security group. We have M365 group. Now there are more than this group in this environment. Now security groups is a group where let's say you want to provide, instead of me to say, oh, I want to give Mr. A license, I want to give Mr. B license, I want to give Mr. C license. I could create a group for the organization. I said license group. When I say license group, what it means is that if I want to do, I will just say give license to all these people. So if I want to give license and I want to give license to all the group, all I need to do is to say let's say 5 people are on this group, and I have about 10 licenses, and I provide license to that group. How many licenses will be remaining? Can somebody give me an answer? I have 10 licenses.
9.
Is that what?
9.
No, I have 10 licenses, and then I need to provide these 10 licenses to all my users. And inside one particular group, security group, we have 5 people on that group. If I decide to put license on that security groups, how many licenses do you think will remain?
5.
5. Why? Because it's a security group. It distributes permission, authority. It distributes all those things. And that's why they use security. Then the second one is M365 group. M365 is majorly for collaboration. That is what is tied to your SharePoint, your Teams, and all that. It's tied to all that, right? So that's M365 group. Basically, that's what it is. We have that type of license. So the minute you pick up of any of this group, now select security, and then put a name. Just say license group. Type license group. Then put a description on that. Just put a description for ease of access. Now you see that this one is grayed out. This one is grayed out, right? This is grayed out. Nothing because there's no other. Now we have not, we don't have a member yet. Hold on. Then now select no owner of this group. Now you can select that. You select that, and then you can put yourself as the owner of this group. Select your name, your name that you want to use to register this. You can type it on phone to search. Yeah, select it. Select down that checkbox, select it. Yeah, when it's just selected, select. Yes. To take you back to that. Now you are the owner of this group. So you know how to add people to this group. Now, members of this group, select few members, select under no member, select. It will give you just maybe about 5 people you want to select on this group. Scroll down. Scroll down. I'm saying that some applications are there, connectors are there already, which is normal. Okay, so you just find the users that you have. You created a lot of users. That's nice. Just maybe about 3 users that you created that is there. Scroll down. Then select. Now create. We'll create those groups, 3 people on that group. So if you now go to check any of those users, you will see their information there. Now let's try and create another group. Click on it. Now this time around, select M365 group. Yeah. So then put for collaboration group. Yeah. So now this one enables emails automatically. You see that changes. Yeah, enable emails. Now this image what everybody or internally that's what is being used. Now put a description for collaboration. Yeah. So check if that one is great. There's nothing. I think it's grayed out. It's grayed out. I think because there's no license yet. So that's fine. Then also put yourself as the owner. Select. Then then you can you might decide to do that later on. You might decide to add more members. That's fine. Let's try and add members to see. Now, then add like few members to it. Even though we have not provided license yet, but just add them. Create. So we're going to be needing them later on. You'll be seeing how these are being the collaborations for those ones that you have on them on your SharePoint and all that later on. But those are the basic ones we are going to do. Let me also see other things that we're going to do. I know the time is fast spent. We said we're supposed to take we can create users, we can have yes, we need to have assign license now. And then, so I think that's what we would do on the Entra ID side. And then, go back to the first tab. The other ones, application registrations and all that are going to be for later on for the advanced class. You see, there's a tab on top of on the menu, outside this, you see where you first started from. Go to your admin. No, you are under identity. On top of the, you guys know how to use this. Your
Am I supposed to leave this environment?
No. You can use another tab. This is another tab. You start from. You have two tabs on the top. You have admin, and you are supposed to leave this environment. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So now you go to users. Can you go up? Scroll up. Now you go to users. Yes. Active users. Click on active users. Now you see all these ones are on license, Let's first of us go and check our license. How many license do we have? Go to billings. We're going to come back, click on billings, click on license, scroll down. Yeah, go to billings, click on license. Okay. So we have 24 available licenses. We have only assigned one. It's only one that you have given. Unfortunately, Michael is not giving people teams again. I don't know why. Back in those days, we used to have teams, but I will show everyone from our own end what teams look like and all that. So now go back to your users. So you have at least 25 users that you can play with. That's why I didn't ask you to do 25 users you can play with. And then, but you just need to how to assign license and how to remove license. Now, that's the main part. So that in case if you still want to keep the tenants, all you need to do is just remove all the licenses. They are not going to charge you. So please, very, very key. Now go back to your users. Now click on active users. Now, let's say you want to add, I'm not sure whether you can do it like as a group, but try to try to click on one of the users that is not licensed. You can see the status that is not licensed. Click on it. Click on one of the users, the one top. Now, here is the thing, and I just want to show you. I think somebody asked a question, it was yesterday, that immediately you put the license there, whether you will see here, you see device, license app, mail, OneDrive. Now, the reason for this is because the moment you put in license, as far as opportunity is concerned, it over a period of time, maybe about between 10 minutes, between 2 to 10 minutes, it will provide you a mailbox. It will provide you your OneDrive. Right now, this account doesn't have a license, and that's why it doesn't have a mailbox yet. So, and then click on the device. See, device is not enrolled in Intune, that's okay. It's not the level. Now go to license. Go to license. Click on license. Don't do anything yet. Go to mail.
What did you say?
Go to mail. You see, user doesn't have Exchange online license because it's Exchange that provide the mailbox. Go to OneDrive. We don't show this setting user blah blah blah. That means OneDrive is where you store your information. You're just like your normal drive. Now go back to license. Now can you now scroll down before you put that? Scroll down. Now click on just that line. Just check that button. Then you will see that this particular now, there's a button down there. You see, immediately you check that button, the application that's provided for you about 67 straight away for that license. E5 license will not provide you 67 applications that this user can use. Now, can you try to show show that arrow down? Let's see that arrow down. Now, that is if you want to customize it, then scroll down. Let's see what we have here. Now, you can see different applications. Some of them you don't know what it is. Of course, maybe for the advanced level, but at least the basic ones you can use. So in some cases, organizer might just want to make sure that you only use, even out of this, even though it's E5, they might just still restrict you to use a particular item within the organization. This is where you have Exchange, you have Teams, you have SharePoint, everything that you can. You have Kaiser, we have O365 application, which contains all your what's it called? Maybe Word document and all that. So you have everything, BI Pro, everything you can think of. They are all here. That's with 67 that you can use to do the and all that. Now, you will have more experience on this one if you have a different system. Let's say if you have a different system and you want to install your Word document to it, and then you want to have it, and of course you can always usually for those who are in advanced class, I ask them to actually create a different system on the cloud. You can create a system in new brand system in the cloud. I probably just if I can if I have the time, but so just save changes now. I don't want you to remove anything, just save changes the way it is. You are good to go. Save changes. So you're going to do the same thing for all your accounts, at least about 10. I mean, depends on how, if you want to use the whole 25, it's up to you. You have 1 month. At least you just created it yesterday. So you have 1 month to play whatever with it, enjoy it, play around with it. So I'm going to leave that. Any other thing that I didn't miss out from this assignment? Yeah, so have you saved that? Save it, click save. Without save, it will not provide you. So when you finish saving, then you keep tapping on this mailbox, and then this is now what will lead us to so maybe on the timbering we'll just take an overview of my this thing. So I'm going to, so you can unshare your screen, and I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to quickly just show us what you need to do. You can create an account. You can create can create an account. You can invite guest users. Your CV is rising. You can manage users. You can manage authentication. You can revoke password. You can reset password. All those things you can do now, at least with what we have been shown. Is nobody is doing it for you. You are the one doing it by yourself. So you can have managed tenants, you have different, and then okay, the other one I didn't talk about, I'm going to show you on that on my own end. The roles which I'm going to ask you to do, create a mailbox. I'll ask you to create a mailbox, create a share mailbox. I'm going to show you from my own end. So you can then go ahead and do that on your end. Does that make sense? Yeah. All right. So We have 20 minutes, more than the time, but I'm just going to do within 5 minutes. I'm going to do that on my hand. All right. So, so that we can have enough to do over the week, and then by the time you are coming back, you are very strong.
Can I stop sharing?
Yes, you can stop sharing now. So by the time you come over the week, you have so much to do, and then by the time you are coming, you already have so much on your resume. I can do this, I can do that. So you have so much on your resume already. So I'm going to just share my screen. So I'm going to I believe you are all seeing my screen.
So God sent the prophet.
Okay, this is the
Put his house in order, and he was going to die. I tell him to do that. He now went to praise God.
so we have so from your end, there are a number of things that you may not have on your own, which I will have here. So don't bother. It's just this is my own tenant. This is our office tenants. So we have a couple of people licensed, we have a couple of non-licensed. Don't need to bother yourself. Now, maybe next time we'll talk about, I will just run through the admin center. We've done some on identity. On the admin.
God now sent that same prophet. Go back and tell him I have added 500.
Okay. So we have contact. I'm going to be explaining contacts and in details, but the ones I really need to do for you is that now what you have on this, you will discover that on your identity ID, you will not see number of things, and that's why I'm going to make a little bit comparison with what you have and then what you have here. Then I'm also going to show some few things before we skip this completely. In your own system, you will see that we didn't talk about device because there's no we are not managing devices here. In my own environment, we have several people who are working, and then have this even though they are not enrolled on MDM, but they have in some cases we can talk about because these are for advanced class though. Then we have enterprise application. We have several enterprise applications that is already in which also for advanced class too. They are very complex, to be frank. And then we have application registration, which is also a complex topic too when it comes to this thing. So that's why. Then we have what's called the roles. Now, the roles here, the part of the role that he showed during his own, maybe a little bit different from the role we are going to see when it comes to the admin end, which I'm going to show briefly. So we have delegated admin partner. So this is just for our partner. So we have domain services. So this is where you can do anyway. Then we have conditional access. This is majorly for how conditional access basically means how you want to restrict people access, with conditions. Like, oh, I want users that only is going to be in United States, and then I will have to make sure that if you are not in United States, you cannot log in. Or if you don't have MFA, you cannot log in. So it means it's a condition. The access you are providing for people is condition, and it can be based on location. It can be based on the controls or terms of use, VPN connectivity, and all that. So, and then of course, multi-factor authentication, identity scores, authentication methods, password reset. So let's quickly go to this one. which is quite different from this. Under this, so we have contacts. Now, there's no contact on the other end. Contact basically is just, we have under this contact, we have something, it's just a general contact, somebody that is not within the organization. Let's say this person is not within our organization, but we want to make sure that this person is on our, Outlook anytime we are trying to send email out. And then we make to be so that you can create a contact for the organization. So when you see contact here, guest users, we already have, it's going to look like this. If you create a guest user, you'll be having something like ext, external users. And this guest user too can also have access to. So just have it. And then deleted users, if you have deleted somebody's account, then you see the deleted users account here. Now, under this, Teams, that's where you have share mailbox, which I would expect you to create share mailbox in your assignments. Now, with your license, it automatically comes with a share mailbox, with a mailbox. But those mailbox are users' mailbox. Share mailbox is different because, let's say you must have seen a company that said, "Oh, I want to create info at so at so." We have several share mailbox that can be used, and then we have users here now. This that also are share mailbox. We have people who have a secondary account, But what I'm saying is that when you see something like, okay, we have autos at feedderifle.com, for instance, it doesn't suggest that it's owned by someone. Maybe info at so. It doesn't suggest that it's owned by someone. So in that case, it's likely going to be a share mail that is being controlled by someone. So I will need at least able to create about 5 share mailbox, and then you give permission on those share mailbox. I'm going to give an example. Let me try to create one. And then you see I have several domains on my own. So you still have the one that follows it that came with your own, which is something like this that came with your own, like I told you. So it's for those in advanced class that can actually have their own domain, and I have that. So we have this that came with your own. I can still create it with this, but let's say we want to create this one by default. And I said, okay, just so it creates about 5 accounts. You don't need to use my test as your distance, as I'm saying. And let's say I want to use something like test or something, let's say test 1 or something. And it's going to check for me if not. And let's say, okay, I create a share mailbox. Now, once I create the share mailbox, now that share mailbox doesn't have anybody who is going to control it until you now have people who are going to be using that share mailbox. So if I have my own personal share box, and then you create another share mailbox, nobody is going to manage it until you now said, okay, we want members to be on this share mailbox. Then you ask them to manage it. The same thing as for group. Then you had members to be shared mailbox. Okay, I want this person to manage this share mailbox. So what it means is that this person can actually can use this mailbox, test at so you can use to send email to anybody, and at the same time, yes, can also receive email on that same share mailbox without using your own primary email box. So you could just add. So I needed everyone to create share mailbox with your account, and also give permission to member of your account because we are going somewhere. So please do so. I've done that. And then if I go to test, so I have this test 1, and I have 2 members which can read message on this one, who can send us, they can also send on behalf, that's okay, but who can send information, who can send on behalf of this mailbox. So basically that's what's going to exist. This person can use it, this person can use it, and that's what they have. So next time we're going to say, once you have created all that within this 1 week, by the time we are meeting next time, you should be able to demonstrate. I will just give you certain level of instruction, and then go to over, and then open this mailbox, access, we try to send email box and things like that because we are going somewhere. In my classwork, we've been able to assign password and then also roles. Yes, I'm going to talk about roles. I will not miss that. Sorry. The roles here. Yes, let me go to roles. You will see that you have roles over there. Something similar on the Entra ID, and then the roles on Exchange is quite different. You have several roles on Exchange. The one that has to do with mailbox, mail enable, and then we have Intune, we have billings. Basically you'll be seeing the major roles, on this environment, and then we have billings. We have billings. Now, the major roles you'll be seeing generally are those ones that's called administrators. Application is for identity. Anything administrator, attributes, others, billings, administrators, compliance administrators. Those are key. Exchange administrators, global administrator. This global administrator that is what you have right now. When you create the account, this is what you have. Global administrators, Intune administrators, and all those administrators, you are going to have them in case you want to know. So you can play around, try to assign members to the administrator. So if you want to assign somebody to administrator, like, okay, I have someone to have what's it called? Exchange. Let me go to, is there Exchange now? I think I saw Exchange just now. Okay, I have Exchange administrator. Now, those are managed mailboxes. So I have a couple of people who are assigned on the Exchange mailbox, and then we could say, okay, these people, they can create mailbox, they can create share mailbox, they can assign permissions and all that. So you can ask them to have this. Again, depends on what you are working on within your environment, but exactly what you are going to be. So I'm just going to stop now. So, we have, if you need to create groups, we'll talk about calendar later on. Be able to send emails later on, but we can't do that right now. At least you should to assign license, assign roles, create share mailbox, put practice mailbox delegation, and later on we'll talk about this. Please remind me calendar, because I'm going to have a different note next week, but we're going to make sure we touch this one. And the show assignment will follow this. So I'm going to post this one. And then, so this assignment is what we're going to have in your assignments. The quiz will be coming from your assignments. So please, for those who have not done their quiz now, we still need to turn them in by Wednesday. Everybody have to turn their first quiz in. The second quiz will be coming by Saturday next week. All right, so I think I'm going to drop the class close here. Any questions before we go? Any question? Any question? You are the one doing it yourself right now, so you are the one having the experience. So, so you start building your resume. At the very best entry-level jobs you can do, believe me, you don't have nothing to lose, except you feel like, oh, I want to be part of the profession, I want to do this, I want to get something. Of course, there will always be somebody who have an edge. If you are coming as an entry level, and I have somebody else who is also applying, who has more skills than you, definitely, if I were the one, I would get somebody who has higher level experience anyway. But again, so let's have that. All right. If there's no question, I think we can call it a day. Thanks so much, guys, for the weekend. Oh, how to delete tenants?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay. Yeah, that's a very good question. Can you really delete tenants? Yes, you can delete tenants. Most times, if you want to delete tenants, you might have to. I think there is as an admin, you might have to I think, contact Microsoft and then just say, put up a request and said you needed to delete your tenants. And then they will, because most times you have to, and then before you can delete a tenant, because this is a very big question. I think I did that for Bank of America, where they have this company, they bought over this company, and they needed me to move all the information of that company to Bank of American environment. And then at the end of the day, when we are done, so they need to move delete, and it took us a while. I mean, with Microsoft, because they have several hidden things that we didn't know. So we just felt, oh, let's just delete and all that. But no, it has to do a lot of process. The Azure account is tied to it. Even after deleting all the users, deleting all the members in that account, and then I still got stuck. And then also to be able to record, it's a very good question, but it's mainly for those who are the high level. But if all you need to do when you don't need to use it again, number one, remove everything on the license. Just on license every of your users. You can still sign it. It's going to be yours forever. It's not, you have nothing to lose. You can even remove yourself, remove your account, delete all your accounts. But at the point of you deleting every single account users, that's when you delete the accounts. So you can try it out in your own case, and then you say, oh, maybe you don't need the account anymore, because like immediately you create that tenant, you create that tenant with just last single accounts. You realize that you won't be able to delete that only one account because it's tied to that account, but you can delete all the users. You understand? So, but that's exactly what's going. But today's videos. Yes, we have yesterday's videos already on the on the class folder. So I think there's a process. Register fully. There's several information. Can we get assistance while practicing? That's a different. You have to practice. That's the only way around it. You watch videos, get materials more, and then ask questions. That will help. Because this is just, I want everybody to enjoy the feel of this. And then for those who feel like it's something interesting, I really want to do something more. I want to really go. I want to give it a thought. I want to give it an advance. Yes, I will advise you after these 3 weeks, just put in for the next class, and then you get the deepness of it. You get assistance. You get everything that you need. Actually, it's my joy. Somebody called me yesterday. I was like, oh, I said, see, I also want to make sure that in my company I hire as many people who are very skilled, and then we can bid for jobs in the big companies because you have the skill. But if you don't have the skill, how are you going to get the job? The job is out there, but they are looking for people who have the skill. And that's why we keep, somebody will say, somebody might not really like me. I say I like Trump because whether I may not really like him fully, but the truth of the matter is that Trump is somebody that wants people who are in the United States to have the first taste of everything. So why would you need to hire somebody from Pune and the person is coming in right from India and is earning almost 200K, and why people who have been here, born here, who are even carrying US citizen, and they are barely making living, and they can't make something for themselves? It doesn't make any sense. And some people are working. I'm not casting anybody's work. Work is work, but does it make sense if you are here, you have what it takes to get a higher learning job, for you to put in the little best of yourself, and then for somebody who don't even have what it takes, who cannot even speak clearly as we even speak. I sometimes it amazes me when I see some of these guys, they can't even speak, but I give it to them because they are dedicated to what they want to learn, and they are getting it, and they are getting these jobs in multiple figures. And of course, you have nothing to lose because they know it anyway. So, and that's it. If they know you give them the credit, you give them the money, give them all the things. So, if you don't want it, no problem. It's up to you. You make your own decision anyway. So, it's just to encourage somebody here. If you feel like, oh, I need to step forward, I need to get more information, I need to, put up. I'm not going to say go and drop your whatever you are doing now. You just gradually move in, gradually moving. You don't need to drop what you are doing now. No, make sure you groom yourself. There's a way you groom yourself to a point. The interview itself, anytime you try to do interview, it's just going to be an easy thing for you. So please, let's have that at the back of our mind. All right. So thanks so much, everyone. I'm going to be dropping this video too as well, and also the notes for everybody to see. Thanks so much. God bless you.
Thank you very much. Have a good week.
Yeah.
Thank you.